Absentee Operator, Episode 1, The Purchase. It's 3:47 in the morning. I'm 12 time zones away from Ohio, and my laundromat is flooding. 3 weeks ago, I bought this place. $85,000, every dollar I had. I signed the papers via DocuSign on my phone, sitting in a cafe in Kuala Lumpur. I've never stepped foot inside. I've never met the seller. I've never seen these machines in person. The previous owner told me everything was good condition. The inspector I hired via FaceTime missed the corroded water heater. And now, at 3:47 a.m. my time, I'm watching my investment drown through a $40 security camera I bought on Lazada. This is the story of how I got here. How I bought a business I can't visit, in a country I don't live in, relying on strangers I've never met. This is Episode 1, The Purchase. My name is... Actually, you don't need my name. I'm a former tech worker. I spent 10 years building apps for Series B startups that no longer exist. In 2013, I resigned, again, third time in 2 years, and I realized something. I was building other people's dreams with code that would be obsolete in 18 months. I wanted something physical, something that made money while I slept, something that belongs to me. I started researching recession-proof businesses. Laundromats came up. Self-storage, car washes, boring businesses, the kind your uncle owns, the kind that aren't sexy on Instagram but they print cash, allegedly. I had $85,000, that was it, my life savings. In San Francisco, that's 6 months of rent. In Ohio, that's a down payment on a small laundromat, or so I thought. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. Isn't that ridiculous? Billion-dollar empires are built on Facebook Marketplace now. The listing had 4 photos, grainy, fluorescent lighting, a row of washing machines from 2008. The caption said, "Owner retiring, established clientele, $4K monthly profit." I messaged the seller immediately. His name was Frank. He'd owned it for 8 years. He said he was moving to Florida. He said the books were clean. He said I could have the keys by Friday if I wired the money. I did a Zoom walkthrough, 45 minutes. Frank held his phone up, showed me the machines, the change dispenser, the back office. I asked to see the utility bills. He said he'd email them. I asked about the lease. He said it was month to month, very flexible. I asked why he was selling. He said health reasons. Red flags, absolutely. But I was 12,000 miles away, drinking coffee that cost 50 cents, and I was convinced I was making the deal of the century. Let me show you the math. The math is why I did this. The math is always why we do stupid things. Frank said the business grossed $4,000 a month. He said expenses were $1,200. That leaves $2,800 in profit, $33,000 a year. On an $85,000 investment, that's a 39% return. In the stock market, you pray for 7%. In real estate, you celebrate for 12, 39%. That's insane. That's impossible. That should have been my first clue. I asked for bank statements. Frank sent me 3 months. They showed inconsistent deposits, some weeks 2,000, some weeks 400. He said it was seasonal. I asked for tax returns. He said his accountant was out of town. I asked for the lease agreement. He sent me a photo of a handshake. I'm not kidding. A photo of him shaking hands with his landlord, captioned, "We're good people, no paperwork needed." And here, where I got stupid, I thought, this is perfect. This is exactly the kind of messy opportunity that creates wealth. Everyone else is buying crypto. Everyone else is dropshipping. I'm buying a real business with real cash flow. I'm going to be the guy who fixes this place up. I'm going to systematize it. I'm going to install card readers. I'm going to hire a manager. I'm going to run this from my laptop in Southeast Asia. I'm going to be the absentee operator. I hired a lawyer in Ohio via Upwork, $300 to review the asset purchase agreement. He sent it back with 17 red flags. Seller retains no liability. Equipment sold as is. No representations about income. Basically, if this is a scam, you're screwed. I signed it anyway. I wired the money on a Tuesday, $85,000. It left my account at 9:00 a.m. Malaysia time. By 9:05, Frank had confirmed receipt. By 9:30, he'd sent me a photo of the keys sitting on the front counter. By 10:00, he was on a plane to Florida. And just like that, I owned a laundromat in Toledo, Ohio. The first thing I did was install security cameras. 4 of them. I needed to see my empire. I needed to watch the cash roll in. I opened the app at 11:00 p.m. my time. It was 11:00 a.m. in Ohio. The laundromat should have been busy. Morning rush. People washing work clothes. It was empty. One guy sitting in the corner, not washing anything, just sitting there for 3 hours. I watched him. I watched my empty machines. I checked the revenue dashboard for the card readers I'd ordered. $0 all day. Week 1. I learned things Frank forgot to mention, like the change machine eats quarters. It jams every 4 hours. I got a WhatsApp message from my new manager. Yes, I'd hired a manager, a guy named Mike I found on Indeed, $50 a day to open and close. The change machine was beeping. Error code E47. I looked it up. It means the bill validator is dirty. I told Mike to clean it. He said he didn't know how. I sent him a YouTube video. He said the machine was complicated. Day 3. The hot water heater stopped working. No hot water means no hot washes. Hot washes are 60% of revenue. People pay extra for hot. Mike called me. Boss, the heater making a noise. I asked what kind of noise. He made the noise into the phone. It sounded like grinding metal. I called a plumber. Emergency visit. $400. The pilot light was out. That was it. $400 to relight a pilot. Day 5. I realized I had no quarters. You need quarters to make change. Customers give you 20s, you give them quarters, but I had no quarters. The bank won't sell you quarters if you're not there in person. You can't buy quarters online. I had to ask Mike to go to 3 different grocery stores and buy rolls of quarters with his own money, then Venmo him back. He bought $200 worth, at a 10% markup, because that's what the grocery store charges. Day 7. The first week numbers came in. I made $840 gross, not net, gross, minus Mike's salary, minus the plumber, minus the quarter markup, minus the security camera subscription, minus the insurance. I was negative $400 in my first week. I owned a business that was losing $600 a week. On an $85,000 investment, that's a negative 37% return. I was better off putting the money in a savings account earning 0.5%. I panicked. I called Frank. The number was disconnected. Of course it was. He was in Florida. He was gone. He cashed the check. He'd won. I was holding the bag, a soggy, leaking, empty bag in Toledo, Ohio, while I sat in a humid apartment 12,000 miles away wondering if I just lost everything. Which brings us back to 3:47 a.m. Day 21. The water heater I mentioned, the one that had the pilot light out, turns out it wasn't just the pilot. The tank was corroded. 8 years of hard water. Frank knew. He had to know. The rust stains on the floor. They were there in the Facebook photos. I just didn't know what I was looking at. The tank ruptured. 40 gallons of water plus the pressure from the line. It flooded the back office. It seeped under the wall into the main area. It shorted out the electrical for 3 washing machines. 3 machines down. That's 40% of my revenue capacity. Gone. In the middle of the night. While I slept. Mike sent me the WhatsApp message. Boss, water everywhere. I woke up. I saw the camera feed. I watched my business dying in real time and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't grab a mop. I couldn't shut off the valve. I could only type. Shut off the main water valve. Mike typed back. Where is it? I didn't know. I'd never been there. I had to Google the floor plan for the building. I had to call the fire department. Not 911. I couldn't. I was in Malaysia. I had to call the non-emergency line from Skype at 4 in the morning. They sent a truck. They shut off the water. They left. Mike sent me photos, the damage, the water line on the drywall, the ruined baseboards, the 3 washing machines fried, insurance claim. I checked my policy. It covers sudden water damage, but not gradual corrosion. The adjuster is coming next week. I'm not optimistic. I sat there at 4:30 a.m. looking at my phone, looking at my flooded laundromat, and I did the math again. New water heater, $1,200. 3 new washing machines, $6,000. Drywall repair, $2,000. Lost revenue while closed, unknown. I was already negative. Now I was bleeding. And here's the question I kept asking myself. Did I buy a business? Or did I buy a job? A terrible, stressful 24-hour on-call job that pays negative money. Frank is in Florida. He's probably sleeping fine. I'm in Malaysia, watching my life savings turn into a mold problem in real time. It's been 3 days since the flood. The laundromat is closed. I'm losing $200 a day in potential revenue. I've got a contractor quoting me $10,000 to fix everything. I've got a manager who's thinking about quitting because he didn't sign up for floods. I've got a bank account that's draining, and I've got a decision to make. Do I cut my losses, list it for sale as a fixer-upper, and try to get out with 50 cents on the dollar, admit defeat, take the $30,000 loss and move on? Or do I double down, fix it, upgrade it, install the card readers, hire a better manager, systematize it, turn this disaster into the foundation of something real, an actual empire, not just one laundromat but 3, 5, 10. The Absentee Operator, building wealth from 12,000 miles away, proving that you don't need to be there to build something that lasts. I have 72 hours to decide. The contractor needs a deposit by Friday. The insurance adjuster calls tomorrow. And I need to figure out if I'm a businessman or a gambler who just lost his first hand. Next episode, I'll tell you what I chose, and I'll show you the real numbers, the actual P&L, the systems I'm building. The second location I'm already looking at, because if this works, if this actually works, it's the blueprint for everything. If it doesn't, well, at least you'll know exactly how to lose $85,000 from the other side of the world. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the comments. And if you own a laundromat in Ohio, please tell me it gets better.